Welcome back everybody to the Austrian Grand Prix, as we see Ben Utzer here making his entrance into the pit lane. McNamara, Sharp and Cox all moving through, as we see that Stefan Berner has a call to the pit lane right now. So it's all starting to begin here, lap 30 of 53. This is where it's going to start to get interesting.
Yep.
Saeed he's 15 seconds behind Berner and he's 8.5 ahead of McNamara, though really McNamara isn't the one he needs to worry about. That was Berner coming in. That noise, so he's in. Utzer's come out back in 9th. Just ahead of Ben Herbert. That could be crucial for the German. We'll get an indication in a moment. We're having a look at the two stopping Andy Black. Utzer's about 15 seconds behind, as Berner's already done his stop, so he's coming back out now. As he rejoins the track, Rinjaho may just have the run on him.
Yeah, nah, it's too far.
Yeah, I have to agree with you now. So Berner comes back out in 5th place. He's behind his teammate by a mere 3.5 seconds.
Of course, his teammate has to stop again.
Exactly.
So does Rob Sharp and McNamara.
And Saeed, who leads the race, who will be coming in on this lap.
Yep.
McNamara won't. He'll probably come in with Sharp. Cox will be going a few more laps than that. Rinjaho will be in this lap as well. I'll have next to no impact on Saeed.
Oh, there's that bar.
Right, so McNamara now leads the race. Sharp has got Jamie Cox having a look down the inside. Nothing there for him. Black's into 5th. Here comes Saeed.
In 7th position.
Out of the pits now. Utzer's on the same stretch of track, effectively.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's made up some ground.
You know, that was Saeed just going through the hairpin there, and now Utzer goes through. So there you go, 4.1 seconds between 2nd and 3rd before the stop. See what happens with them now. As Engbrink's in the pits. Here comes McNamara as well. So now the two NTECs are back in control of the race. Cox leads Berner. Cox does have to pit relatively soon though.
Around 2 or 3 laps.
But the Australian has been doing nicely. He's making up some positions. Meanwhile, Andy Black is up into 3rd. He's still got to pit then. He'll be pitting at the end of this lap. There's his teammate out of position. Hunsley will pit at the end of the lap. There goes Saeed. There goes Utzer. We see McNamara come out now. Still ahead of Sharp. Andy Graham yet to pit. Rinjaho has. Chaco pitting this lap. Martins, Bailey. Deal's in. Herbert is Routavara, no. Barrett, new.
Yeah, we have Jamie Cox.
Not this lap for Cox. Here we go though, Andy Black will come in now.
And now it's going to be interesting to see where he joins.
Hunsley comes in as well. So that is that's almost cleansed the field, save for Cox at the front. 1.1 seconds on his teammate. There isn't really much danger in him being there. Werner is holding a very large margin, no doubt. Yep, indeed, 16.3.
Yeah, pretty big gap.
We're going to have a look back now. So we see McNamara still in 5th, Sharp's in 6th. Graham is there yet to pit ahead of Rinyaho, and that's where Black has come out. So Black is a mere 2nd behind Rinyaho, 7 seconds ahead of Hunsley. But he's effectively on the same strategy now.
Yeah.
Same amount of fuel as Rinyaho ahead. He's going to have to do with what he has.
So not much too big of an advantage.
To the front then.
Jamie Cox putting in his lap.
Rob Sharp, fastest lap of the race so far.
That means he's closing in on James McNamara.
How Andy Graham's still going is beyond me. I mean, he has not pitted once yet.
We saw in Australia that the Viper has some very good tire degradation. So.
Oh, here we go. As Graham makes a large lock-up, Rinyaho very defensive.
Yeah.
Left, I think, not a millimetre more than a car's width before taking the line.
That's how racing goes.
And he's left Black, Black going from the, nose to tail is now 9/10 behind. Now the interesting fact is that we know that Jamie Cox was racing around Rob Sharp previous to this. So just where he comes out in relation to the Brit, we will find out in a moment. Have a look, there he is in the pit lane. There's a yellow flag. Matt Bailey's gone around to turn 2. Out comes Jamie Cox. And he's still behind Rob Sharp. But he is on, what's that? It must have been around 5 laps or so. 4 to 5 laps. He's stayed out. Hasn't lost too much time, and he is on the fresher rubber now. Derner, though, well in control of this race. As we're here with Utsa, 4.7 seconds behind Saeed. He hasn't really caught up much. We'll have a look and see in relation to McNamara as well how he's doing.
Yeah.
So he is losing time to Saeed, and he is losing time to McNamara.
Maybe conserving his tires a bit. Or playing the cat and mouse game.
Here with Saeed. Here with Hunsley, rather. Having a look at Andy Black, so that's come out of nowhere.
Yep.
Superior race pace of Jack Hunsley has caught up to Andy Black in next to no time. Rinyaho's gone, and Andy Graham is still ahead as well. So not sure what's happened to Black, if anything. Maybe just being caught behind Graham, but he's now in a lot of trouble with Hunsley right behind him. There's one of the virgins there in the pit lane. That would be Barrett. Why is that? He's the only one left. Lap 38. Saeed just nowhere near the pace needed to get Burner. But he's got enough to keep Utsa away. Huntley and Black yet again. Into the first corner, and this time Huntley's got past.
Yep, he's got him.
Large lock up there from Black, so I wonder if that's just gotten into his head a little bit. As I think it was Chaco did the fastest lap of the race.
I think so, yeah. Whoever's moving out of position as well.
Ben Herbert.
Oh, yeah, it's problem. Yes, problem.
That's a transmission. Running in the top 10 at the time as well for Ben Herbert, so points were definitely on the table for RD Racing today. And they're not able to make the distance with Ben Herbert's car. It's a massive shame for that team.
It is indeed.
Meanwhile, as something's happened to Ben Utsa, I think. He's got a brake problem himself.
Ooh.
So we'll go to find him because McNamara's now onto the podium. Sharp is there. Cox
Yep.
is up into 5th. Here's Utsa then. He's trying to make it back around to the pit lane.
Yep, it can be fixed, but will he get there? That's the big question. Very fast. But he'll definitely lose a lot of time.
That's a very wide line. I'm not sure if he was able to get it to slow down at all, and I think they may have gone completely.
Yeah, there he goes.
They may be seizing up or something now. So that's Utsa retiring from the podium position. And the run of BRT form does not get any better either.
Nope. Terribly bad news.
I think that'll be a rout of our, you know, before, what was it, about 2 laps ago, you know, it was a very, very long way away from getting points. He's now in 10th.
Yep. That's been such a long run.
So we got
And
the yellow
there
flag
it is.
still just for Utsa. Confirmation there was a brake problem. McNamara then. There is a rumour flying around that he has been told by his boss that if he's not going to get a podium this season, he should find himself another drive. This is one way to make his manager shut up. If he can keep it going, he's 7.8 seconds behind Saeed, so it's a long way away.
Yeah.
Chances are he's probably not going to get there, as we have about 13 laps to go here in Austria. One thing I do love about this circuit is that the grandstands seem to be in just the most beautiful positions, like just in the middle of trees.
Yeah,
It's just, oh, there's a grandstand, okay, let's just go with that.
pretty nice placed. There's enough grass here, so enough places to actually have a seat. Ooh, Martin's almost going off the track. course, losing time to England.
Here with Burner. It's just coming out of turn 2 on the way to turn 3 now. Here with Chaco instead. A little bit wide, not a massive problem.
Yeah. There we are with Saeed. Having a pretty solid race, but pretty off the radar, to say the least.
Rinho here, P6, he's got Hunsley just behind P7. Another good day for DTK at the moment. One of the few teams not to have a car go off, so fully deserving so far of their result.
Yeah.
Chaco out of nowhere after spinning twice in the gravel, and he's looking 9th place at the moment. That's not too bad a return for what's gone on.
And you gotta remember, he even started in 14th, so he's made up some positions.
Indeed, he has, yes. That shows there are right times and wrong times to make spins. At the start of the race, you know, is effectively the right time to do it.
Yeah, if you're going to do it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Saeed is losing quite a bit of time to McNamara. I don't think it's going to be near enough for the Australian to get anywhere, but it's something to look at. The Turk is getting caught up somewhat quickly. Not sure if there's a problem there or anything.
Would be such a shame for him. And there's still the fight between Cox and Sharp is going on. They're still having a really nice battle.
As we're on about 10 laps to go now.
Burner having a dominant lead. No one has ever seen him after the start.
Except those getting overlapped by him. Rinho fastest lap of the race so far.
Of course, showing the good race pace that DTK have.
Saeed still losing time, remarkably. And this fight continues to go on. Cox and Sharp.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
They've got 9 seconds back to Rinho, so they really do have nothing to worry about. They can go all at it.
Yep. With about 9 laps to go. Losing a whole second per lap, and then he also has to get past him, so no threat from behind.
Just 6.5 tenths between the two.
Yep.
Rinho in control here. Here's Hunsley. He's pulled out a long way from Black. 4.5 seconds. Not nearly as far away as Chaco, but yeah, you can't have everything.
Nope.
Graham running in 11th.
It's been a sad day for the Viper team. Of course, starting in 4th and 5th, it's pretty disappointing to retire and have the car driving in 11th. But even more so for the BRTs. And also the Virgins. Here we are with Checo in 9th position. And there's McNamara.
To Martins.
Managing to get to the cars in front and behind.
Saeed, we might see. Well, here's McNamara. 5.5 seconds to Saeed, so he's definitely been bringing it down. It's just nowhere near enough. As the fight behind, I think Cox has got. He's not finding enough to get quite close enough to Sharp.
Yeah.
I mean, Cox has shown himself to be one of the most naturally gifted racers this season, but at the moment he's just struggling, and that's due to the fact that this car right here is housing a Mercedes engine that is packing a hell of a punch. And I think Jamie's Honda is just running out a little bit early.
Yeah. The Mercedes engine having some higher revs than the Honda engine at the moment, but the Honda engine can improve, of course.
Down to 5.1 between Saeed and McNamara.
Still, I think it's going to be a little bit too late. But
well, he's starting to get to the point where he needs a second per lap.
Yeah, and he has got to overtake him as well.
Which, as we're seeing with these two, is not going particularly well. When doesn't matter how good the racer is, the horsepower deficit does make a difference.
Yep. The only thing Jamie can hope for is to maybe force or drop any mistake. This is quite painful to see. Brunner who's lapping Pablo Biel.
6 laps to go for the Dutchman. Here was Saeed. Here not with Saeed, here was Deal.
Yep.
I think that was Rinho fastest lap of the race that I spied. Hunsley now with the fastest lap of the race into the 1:10. So it seems that now with the DTKs they're a long way behind. I think they've just had some messages with the pit wall, they're just going after fastest laps now. I mean, you can see it, Hunsley's pulled out 6.1 seconds to Black. He's absolutely blown him out of the water. After Black had all that speed early in the race.
He's lost it at the after race.
Oh, Barrett. Off he goes, round he goes. Is he going to slide back onto the track? Thankfully not.
Well, that's the second donut of the day.
And he's got more than enough room ahead of Chaco.
Yep.
Not too much of a problem there for the Brit or the Hungarian. Here's Burner. 4 laps remaining. Find Saeed here. It's down to 4.6 now between McNamara, but he's looking for over a second per lap. So it's really not going to happen for the Australian, but he's done pretty well, I think, to bring it down quite a few seconds in the scheme of things.
And of course, matching the result that the Steam Boss saw. Ooh, Rinho and Hunsley. Yeah. Showing off why We have such a good car in the race.
Ratavara down 9, and you can only imagine how much worse it gets elsewhere.
Oof, yeah. A total of 28 positions gained. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, with Saeed. No, that's wrong. Burner.
Burner, yeah.
I saw Saeed on the telemetry and I looked at a green car. I was like, yep, that makes sense.
Yep.
Doesn't really. 3 laps remaining for the Dutchman. Jamie Cox down to just 0.4 of a second. Oh, he's right there.
Yeah. And now he's very close. Oop.
The run up to turn 2.
Has not been too good for the Australian. But, no.
Rob Sharp just doing enough so far. Two laps to go now. Burner. As he looks up the inside to go past Deal and is eventually let past. Just makes it a little bit easier. Back here we'll find Saeed. Still holding 4.2 seconds to McNamara. Here we go now. Jamie Cox up the inside.
Oop, no. I think it, yeah. Now that's pretty terrible. Oh, maybe. No.
Cox has got a bit of a run now. What can he do with the speed?
He wants to do it, it needs to be soon.
Possibly the best 2 overtaking positions on the track. He's only got one more chance at both of them. Fine Bernie's going to come on to the penultimate lap, leading yet again. It's been a very good drive from him, and it's definitely in some good form at the moment. The battle on our hands at the moment. Sharp and Cox. Here you go. Oh, I think Jamie's definitely got a nice run there.
Yeah.
What can he do with it?
Ooh.
Oh, and he's up the inside. Can he get the run?
Yeah.
I don't think he will.
No.
And looking at the distance already, that's
a bit
probably
too
going
far,
to be
yeah. It's too far.
too much there for the Australian. We'll most likely have to settle for 5th after that, unless he can get Rob Sharp to make a mistake, but I doubt that'll happen. Meanwhile, though, Stefan Burner, domination is an understatement.
Absolutely fantastic.
He will take his 2nd win in succession. Fantastic effort from the Dutchman. Leads the championship and leads it strongly.
Fantastic drive, great job.
Yeah, having his 2 rivals to finish in 4th and 5th, so making up some very nice ground.
Saeed will come across in 2nd. McNamara, his first trip to the podium of the season. Sharp will just hold off Jamie Cox in the end. Grigneho come across in 6th place with Hunsley close behind.
Not a good race by the DTKs.
Andy Black, a promising day that really ended up a bit meh.
Yeah.
Chaco, what could have been without all those spins? Barrett, well, not much would have happened even with all those without all those spins. Rautavaara will come across for the final point. Just ahead of Andy Graham. Again, you know, maybe they made a bit of a mistake with him today, but Berner wins. Superb effort, confirmation of the results by 18.5 seconds. Stefan Berner dominates the Austrian Grand Prix. About 3.6 seconds. Omar Saeed leads McNamara. You know, I think you'd have to say under control about Saeed there. Wasn't too worried there wasn't enough laps, so that's your podium. Rob Sharp and Jamie Cox end up having a very nice battle at the end, in which the Brit comes out on top. Brynjo and Hunsley both up 14 positions each for DTK. Fantastic effort by them. Andy Black in 8th, Chaco in 9th, Rautavaara in 10th, Andy Graham the final runner on the lead lap. And we have Martins, Engbrink, Bailey and Barrett all a lap down. Pablo Deal 2. Before we come into the retirements, Ben Utzer with brakes, Ben Herbert in 18th and Daniel Harvey in 22nd with transmission failures, and then Dovizioso, Lindner and Sigalakis all made mistakes that involved
and lost the wheel.
Yeah, ripping off wheels, which I think you'll find is not really conducive to driving quickly.
Nope.
Fastest lap of the race, and it's Jack Hunsley by 3 thousandths of a second from his teammates. So, you know, definitely the DTKs had the speed today. Also interesting to look at 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. You know, just looking at who they are. The 2 Falcons, also Berner as well, if you count in 7th. So, 2 Entex and McNamara in 2KF1, they all had the speed today.
Yeah.
Have a look at the lap chart. Rautavaara, well, okay, yeah, that doesn't say much, does it?
Yeah.
Berner to the front and pretty much there the entire time. Jamie Cox tried his hand, got himself to the front. Eventually, we will find Andy Black. Here we go. Up again, and back down. In the end, he made up 2 positions, which isn't too bad, but at the end of the day, you also got to look at the fact that Rautavaara, Dovizioso, Harvey, Utzer, Engbrink.
Deal. Oh no.
Yeah. They've all had problems, moments, whatever, and finished behind him. So it's like to only make up 2 positions when at least 5 cars retired or spun off multiple times ahead of him.
And having been the faster car in the first stint.
Indeed. McNamara though, up, and pretty much stayed there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hunsley and Brynjo.
Yeah.
Never too far away from each other. Only in this little section here do we see that there's a few positions in between. But otherwise, both of them running pretty close together. A fantastic effort. So there we have it. The Austrian Grand Prix, sadly from not the correct track, but you can't help that sometimes. Any final remarks, Tim, about the race?
No. You just set the whole race in a nutshell.
Pretty much. There we go. So, with that, Berner does take control of the championship, but all of the key players are still in with a shot. We're only through 11 rounds of the season. It's still all to play for in Formula FG. We thank you everyone for watching. Next round is the Hungarian Grand Prix, home of Falcon. So they'll definitely be looking for a good result on their home track.
Yeah.
And with that, we thank you once again.
Danke und auf Wiedersehen.